Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and all our lovely ladies from our homes of Street Providence. I'm on behalf of the trustees of Street Providence. I'm Bosco George. I'm a volunteer with Street Providence, and we have, like every year, at the time of Christmas, to bring joy and happiness and to share among ourselves. We have put up a small program, and a lot of contribution is from our ladies from these homes. You have to understand that practically all of them have challenges, whether it is mentally, physically, and how Street Providence has been able to cope up with them is not that important. It is important how many more homes we have opened and how many more less fortunate people, ladies as well as gents, that we have been able to cater. Our theme is we dare to think. And because of this, we have gone beyond the boundaries of Goa. In the neighboring Sindhudurg district, we have actually partnered with the Diocese of Sindhudurg and the Sisters of FMCK. Many of our sisters are over here as well as from the Fatima Convent. They have all been our supporters, our benefactors. And I have to acknowledge today there is one benefactor who I believe was from 2017, is Miss Noreen and her daughter who have come here. Please give them a round of applause, always supporting Street Providence. Seeing our work, many people have joined in. In fact, seeing the work Donald, Jonathan, and all Sapnesh and all do, it motivated me to join while I was still in service. And I promised him that after retirement, I will definitely be a volunteer with you, because this is something which I think we can give back to society. So on behalf of all the trustees, all the hard work, and all the people who work behind the scenes, they are all people simple people who have never come forward. It's only people like me who make the headlines, no? But there are many of them who have done such wonderful works. This is the day. Let us give them a big round of applause. Whether it is Sapnesh, then the caregivers, the benefactors. Thank you all of you for your wonderful work. And so today, we'll start with a small welcome song. Welcome dance performed by the caregivers. You have to understand, many of our caregivers are girls who have been sponsored by Street Providence, and they come, most of them are from Jharkhand, right? They are from Jharkhand. So they've come here and they spent 2 years along with us, and they will be giving us a dance. much, ladies, for the caregivers from Street Providence. Now, the second item as such will be an introduction through slides by our trustee, Jonathan.
For those of you who don't know, Mr. Bosco George is a retired IPS officer with the Goa Police. And when he was in service, Donald always had complaints to him. He complained, the police are not doing this, the police are not doing that. And Sir Bosco was wondering, like, does this young man really know what hunger and homelessness is, how committed he is, how dedicated he is? But Donald didn't give up, and gradually Sir Bosco realized that, okay, they intend to do what they say they want to do. And he said, you know, when I retire, I'm going to be a volunteer with Street Providence. I'm sure he has received many lucrative offers from corporates and others. He's a very, besides being a very honest police officer, he's a wonderful human being. He's humble to the core. And so when he retired, he actually came and said, I'm going to volunteer. Now, full-time volunteering, not only in Goa, but also at an outreach program. He's been twice to Manipur. I don't know how his wife sends him because it was very dangerous at that time. But he went there, and so today I want to express our deepest gratitude to him. He always said, Jonita, you assume I won't say no. Well, I know he won't say no to any of our requests, so thank you, thanks a lot. As trustee of Street Providence, I am delighted to have here today benefactors, volunteers, well-wishers who have helped us along the way. Without your support, encouragement and help, I don't think we would be able to accomplish half of what we have done towards our mission of ending hunger and homelessness. Here I'd like to mention that this is a women's celebration for the women residents, and 80%, almost 80% of the women whom we rescue, who are rescued by the police and are rehabilitated in our shelter homes, suffer from mental, physical and intellectual disabilities. It's not easy looking after them. But we have a team of dedicated professionals, the medical doctor, the physiotherapist, counselors, vocational trainers, and the art teacher. Now, our physiotherapists and the dedicated work has resulted in many of our inmates regaining their physical movements. They are able to walk, they are able to do their own chores, which gives them a certain level of independence. Our counselors create an environment for listening and encourage communication. See, many of the persons rescued from the streets have been subject to a great degree of abuse, fear. There's no food to eat. They have been rejected by society. You pass by somebody and you look at them and you think, oh, they are so dirty. And they can read it in your eyes. They can read that rejection in your eyes. So there's lots of rejection and fear that these people have, and at counseling, we encourage them to express themselves. The vocational trainer, there are vocational classes for these ladies, and on this table here, you will see many of the items that they have made themselves during the vocational class and during the art classes, under the guidance of the vocational teacher and the art teacher. And this is an expression of their innermost feelings. But in vocational, their favorite activity is cooking. All women, most of us love cooking. They love cooking. So the vocational trainer encourages them to choose the dish of their choice. And then under her guidance, they will prepare, and of course they eat it themselves, but we see the lovely pictures, and which I'm going to share with you today on the slideshow. In addition, there are outings for the women. We take them to the parks and the beaches. This is to foster inclusivity. See, when we hear that somebody is down with mental disabilities, we think about crazy person or this or that. But no, they're humans, and they have a deep desire to be like you and me. So inclusion and confidence. We want them to be confident that, hey, you can navigate in the big world. It's not that difficult. We'll help you, but you will get there. So that's what our outings do. Festivals are also celebrated. All festivals are celebrated in every resident shelter home. Residents decorate, they perform, they immerse themselves in cultural activities, and to make it special and to make them feel valued, Donald always insists that we give them a gift for every festival. So maybe it's new clothes, maybe it's new footwear, maybe it's some toiletries to make them feel valued. We also conduct art classes for them. Well, as you know, art is a medium of expression, and there are many of them who are unable to express in words their emotions, their feelings, their fears, their challenges. And through the medium of art, you will see how they express themselves. There was an incident of a young resident of ours. She's very good in drawing, and she was always requesting for additional artwork over and above what we were giving in the classes. And she would say, give me this kind colors, that kind paper, can I have this brush or that? And so when we asked her, why are you, requesting for additional stuff? We really wanted to know, and she said, I don't want to think of the negative things that have happened in my life. I don't want to listen to those bad thoughts that come into my mind. I need to keep myself busy. And since I enjoy coloring and drawing, I keep myself busy and it gives me joy. And I need to get better. You see, that was the understanding level of this young woman resident in our shelter home. Now, as we go on to this slideshow, I want you to understand that each of these women residents are heroic, because they are dealing with their deepest fears that you could never imagine, and they rise up and accept the challenges that their situation and their disabilities throws at them. There is nothing they cannot do. And so we'll watch the slideshow, and I'll leave you to see these wonderful women and their day-to-day lives in our shelter homes.
उसके बाद थ्री देख उधर। करने में आगे था। उस जमाने में 4 राज्य की राजधानी पूर्णप्रहार नामक
Suresh says clap your hands. Suresh says tap your feet. Stand up. Suresh can say
कळलं आपल्याला सांगणार आहे हां सरकारान केलं दोन्ही साफ जातात गम साफ जातात दात साफ जातात जाते अशें अशें केलं म्हणून दात साफ जाता आनी आमी उकटे करपाचे आतां कितें उकटे करपाचे कित्याक आमकां हांगाय साफ करूंक जाय हिंगा आमी विसरत जाय
Basically in Street Providence what we do is it's a rehabilitation shelter, and we pick people like who have nobody. We are the last stop for such people. We also have inmates in our homes. Off the street, we currently have about 120 people with us in different homes. The services are all free food, free clothes, free medicine, free doctor, free rehabilitation, everything. We don't charge any fees. And it is people who have no place to go.
If you see your brother standing by the road with a heavy load from the seeds he sowed, and if you see your sister falling by the way, just stop and say, you're going the wrong way. You've got to try a little kindness, yes, show a little kindness, just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, then you'll overlook the blindness of narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded streets.
I think we are joined in by a couple of our benefactors and our volunteers. So I would like to acknowledge the presence of our trustee, Advocate Caroline. So please give her a round of applause. She helps us with all the legal problems that Street Providence faces. I also would like to acknowledge the presence of Director Social Welfare, Mr. Manuel Barreto, who has been also very helpful to over here. I also wish to acknowledge the presence of Professor Pai, a great volunteer. Can you imagine? Professor Pai gets up early in the morning and gives food, breakfast at the GMC, and now also at Old Goa since the exposition.
Very important man.
Very important.
He came to me one day and said, I want to do something.
Yeah.
So I said, very good. He said, I feel next to GMC. I said, it's the only thing you can do. You can serve breakfast with just hot. It's not hot to think, huh? Just 10 minutes. Yeah, he will with us right before 4. And last 5 minutes.
So really, I mean, these are the simple people who help us in our work. And let's put it, no expectations, no, they don't even require an appreciation. They just do it as a concerned citizen. And really, thank you, Professor Pai, for all your good work. And I think also a round of applause we will give to our sisters of FMCK and Fatima Convent. Please stand up, please, sisters. Oh, I think you all must have seen the homes where you must have seen the homes that where our resident ladies stay. And then you know when nuns are around, they will always keep the place clean. So please run.
2 sisters are from Fatima Convent and 2 sisters are from FMC.
FMCK. Thank you very much, sisters, and continue your good work and support to Donald. Okay, now the next program is, it was a dance performance by the resident women of Street Providence.
तुझसे जुड़कर ये जुदाई कैसे हो अब तुझ में मेरी मंजिल है बनी तुझ पे ही सजेगी मेरी जिंदगी तुझे जब रात रात दिन रह ना सकूं तेरे बिन तुझे जब रात दिन रह ना सकूं तेरे बिन ये शुआ जो गन बन गई मैं तो अब तेरी जो गन बन गई मैं तो यीशु तेरी बनी रे बनी मैं तो तेरी बनी रे बनी मैं तो तेरी हुई रे हुई मैं तो तेरी हुई रे हुई मैं तो तेरी जो गनिया जो गनिया
As you can see, although these ladies have suffered from mental illness, I think they have the movement, the right timing, and they give it all. That's the most important thing. And so, once again, I would ask you all to please give them a big applause for that. Okay, now the next item is a skit presented, a skit related to their experiences.
Now we will have a small skit performed by the inmates. The name of the skit is A New Hope. There are two characters in the skit, Priya, which will be played by Lucy, and Aisha, which will be played by Anuradha. Scene 1, Priya finds Aisha sitting alone, looking down and sad. Priya sits beside her.
Aisha, you look really sad. What's bothering you? Priya, I feel so alone. Sometimes I get so depressed. I feel like there is no hope. I even feel like ending my life. Aisha, don't think like that way. You are not alone. There's a help for you. There's a wonderful place I know, an institution which take care of people and help them in their difficult times. Really? But how will it help me? They'll give you medical treatment and help you feel stronger. There's a counselor who is always ready to listen. She can help you work through your feelings. Aisha, please let me take you there. Okay, Priya, I trust you. Let's go.
They arrive at the institution and Aisha is welcomed and admitted. Days go by and Aisha begins to join in different classes. Scene 2, Aisha is sitting in an art class, happily creating a piece of art from recycled materials. Priya visits her there.
Aisha, look at you. You look really happy. Priya, I feel like a new person. I love those art classes and I have learned to make so many nice things from waste material. That's amazing, and I have seen that you take care of yourself too. Yes, I feel so much better now. The vocational classes have taught me so many useful skills. I once help others when they need a hand. I knew this place would help you, and look at what you have accomplished. Thank you, Priya. Because of you, I am alive and happy today. I feel like I'm useful. I can even help others just like you helped me.
They share a warm hug, both filled with happiness and hope for the future.
So as you all can see, I think it's very peculiar that they are able to communicate, remember the things and put it before the five people. That is really I think these are the challenges that I think for which our counselor who's over here, where is she? Yeah. Please give her a big hand for all the good work that she is doing. Street Providence also has we have a full-time doctor, Dr. Ignacio. He has come with a very large heart to help us, and you will see some of his, he will be speaking to you all. So these are the people who have volunteered and do some beautiful work with Street Providence. Now seeing this, I think some of our ladies are very inspired to do something. There is one person who was who was most well-known civil service officer, and a person who is my batchmate and is doing a wonderful job in Goa. And we may have to say goodbye to him when he goes to Ladakh in a couple of days. Please, a round of applause for Mr. Sanjeev Rodriguez, IAS, who is here now. Thank you very much, Sanjeev, for all your wonderful help and cooperation that you have done. I mean, as a civil servant, he has gone beyond his call of duty, and many of the amount of food that we have been able to generate for the poor people, it is definitely because of his intervention. Thank you, Sanjeev. Okay, so now all our lovely ladies, please come on stage to sing.
All is
our small program by our residents as well as our caregivers. And before we conclude, a few small short speeches are required to tell you all about the work that is being done. And first I would like to call our guy, man of all season, the guy who's always in action and whose name is on the name of all our residents. Please welcome Sapnesh Sargaonkar, the man who really puts in day in, day out and his actual face on the street for street problems.
My name is Sapnesh Sargaonkar and I am the manager, Street Providence. I am delighted to stand here before you all today and say a few words. Most of our women's residents and are present here in this hall. Not all because some are bed bound, while there are others who are sick in the hospitals. As a manager of this NGO, I am deeply grateful to our benefactors for believing in us and helping us for the past so many years. Now we have our caregivers who work with us. हांव आतां हिंदीन सांगता मातशें सो तांकांय समजोनी हांव कितें उलयता तो. आमची जी केयर गिवर आसा ही वो लोग बहुत दूर से आए हैं इधर. वो लोग 1 साल के कॉन्ट्रैक्ट पे है, लेकिन 1 साल इधर ये जो हमारे पेशेंट्स लोग हैं उनके साथ 1 साल निकालना बहुत उसको मेंटली वो लोग भी प्रिपेयर होना मांगता है कि ये काम करने के लिए. ये पेशेंट्स है जिसको टाइम टू टाइम मेडिसिन्स देना पड़ता है, टाइम टू टाइम उनको ब्रेकफास्ट लंच ये सब कुछ अरेंजमेंट करना पड़ता है इन होम्स. सो ये लोग जो मेरे लिए काम कर रहे हैं ये सबसे पहले मेरे लिए, क्योंकि वो लोग जो सब ये इनमेट्स को लेडीज़ इनमेट्स को संभालते हैं वो लोग हैं. उनमें रीटा, एलिमा, बसंती, स्वाति, नीतू, सीमा, सिमंती और कौन, सिमरन, ये सब लोग जो है ये इनके लिए मैं धन्यवाद बोलना चाहता हूँ कि हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए. और इस आता कोंकणीन स्टार्ट करता मातशें. आता कितें आमचे जे आता इनमेट्स आसा सगळे कळ्ळें हे सगळे मेडिसिन्स 90% दे आर टेकिंग मेडिसिन्स. सो तांकां दे आर मेंटली डिसेबल्ड, सम ऑफ देम आर फिजिकली डिसेबल्ड. बट तेन्ना ते मेंटली डिसेबल म्हणटात तेन्ना तांकां मेडिसिना वांगडा तांकां कावन्सिलींग येता, तांकां दुसरे आर्ट टिचर्स येता, तांकां वोकेशनल ट्रेनर्स येता. हे जे 3 जाण आहात ते तांकां आनी एक मोटिवेट करता. वखदां दिवपूच हें सगळें आमचें काम जायना. जेन्ना वखदां दिता तेन्ना तांकां मोटिवेशन दुसऱ्या कडसून खंयसून तरी मेळोंक जाय. ते ड्रॉइंग करूं ना ते आर्ट करूं ते कुकिंग करूं, ही जी आर्ट टीचर वोकेशनल आनी कावन्सिलर्स, दीस आर 3 people who make them active overall with the medicines. So I thank you these 3 people here who are doing vocational training and art teachers and the counseling. Thank you very much for you all. Okay. आणि माझे फील्ड स्टाफ जे माझे फील्ड स्टाफ सर सोंपोंक ना खूब उरला माझे फील्ड स्टाफ्स आहात फाटल्यान सगळे जाण बोललेले आहात ते तांकां हांव थँक्यू म्हणटा जे म्हाज्या वांगडा सकाळी ते सांज मेरेन आसतात. माय ड्रायव्हर्स, माय अदर हेल्पर्स विथ द ड्रायव्हर्स, महेश, शांताराम, देन सांबा, देन अमृत, Abhishek, these are all who are working with me. And most important is Inacio, not the doctor, my cook. Inacio, He is the man there who cooks for all these ladies here. Okay, and he is doing this job for last 4-5 years now. He's here with us. He's cooking for us, for all these ladies here. Thank you very much, Inacio. Okay, of course my office staff were there who do a tremendous job for us, taking out the medicines for all these patients, monthly medicines. That is not an easy job to do, to take out all these medicines, get the medicines from the hospital, every monthly hospital. There are follow-ups to be made of these patients every day, and there is every day moving around a vehicle. That's why this my two team, like field staff and the office staff. They do a lot of job for me. So I'm thank you for them also, both the teams for doing such a wonderful work for the homeless. What we are doing right now. Thank you very much. And last, as a manager of Street Providence, and I'm very happy to say a few words. Okay, and thank you very much the benefactors who are present here, and the staff and my team, the doctor who is there here. I want him to be with us for whole day. I don't know when he will start, but we want him to start as soon as possible. We have given him one target. That target, if he goes through, then it will be good for us, because my 50% headache will go off. If he is okay with this, then we will carry forward after 1 month the conversation again. Okay, thank you very much. God bless you.
You're so much identified with Street Providence operations that if you're missing, I think that's going to be a disaster because no one can replace you. And the work is, we are about 180 inmates, residents, I think. The follow-up action is so great. You have to take them, and they are in different homes. As far as Kavalusi, they are on the island of Sharau, and all these places, you have to take them to the mental hospital, human behavior, bring them back, take them. I mean, these requires a lot of work. And then after suddenly middle of the night, you'll get someone yelling and shouting, and back again. It's not a 9 to 5. It's all like a police officer. It is 24/7. But that's it. That's how it is a challenging thing, and that's what Street Providence is there to dream to do these things. I would not request our Dr. Inacio to say a few words. Dr. Inacio, after he cleared his medicine from the Philippines, he joined certain places, but I think he found great satisfaction working with Street Providence. So welcome, and Doctor has been in the news these days if you all recognize him, but that is his activism.
It's been a wonderful 6 months of working with Street Providence and working with all the patients, working with the entire team. Now, what does Providence mean? When I had a vague idea. So the dictionary defines Providence as guardianship and care provided by God. Now, let me tell you, in the 6 months that I have been here, this definition has really come to fulfillment. And the entire work, you can see the patients around, you can see the work around, and they have definitely stuck true to their name. Now, from Donald and from Janita, I have learned that running an NGO is not just about goodwill. It's about a lot of other factors that come in place. From Sapnesh, whom I have had the good fortune of interacting on a daily basis. And like Sir said, not just from 9 to 5, sometimes at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. And always approachable and ready to give a solution before I have even finished telling him my problem. To be able to coordinate such a large group of patients spread throughout Goa is not an easy task. It's the collective effort of everyone involved. Now the physiotherapists, the counselors, the art teachers, and the dance classes that are taught. Let me tell you that once this was introduced, there has been tremendous growth in the patients. There has been tremendous improvement in their, not only in their day-to-day living, but also in their psychiatric symptoms, the ones that do have psychiatric issues. The change in the outlook of patients is something we look forward to as milestones of rehabilitation. Something that a lot of shelter homes will be doing only this. They will only be focusing on sheltering. But true to their word, over here they do focus on sheltering as well as rehabilitation. Now, the next most important people are also the drivers seated at the back. Thank you for ferrying patients to and fro, and even sometimes going ahead and meeting with the doctors and explaining their symptoms. The caretakers, I know some of them are irritated with me because in the morning at 2 o'clock, doctor ulti ho raha hai. I'm like, medicine kya hai, ye kya hai? But that job for them to do, staying kilometers, hundreds of kilometers away from their home, can we just have one more round of applause for them? Amazing. Taking care of the elderly and psychiatric patients is not an easy task. From helping them to get up from the bed, take them to the toilet, take them to the hospital, even in the hospital, taking them to the toilet if need be. Conducting their blood pressure readings, the sugar monitorings throughout the day, sometimes 6 times a day, is not an easy task. The helpers and coordinators who at the drop of a hat will rush to do anything without any questions asked. And that is how confident Sapnesh is with his entire team. And finally, a big thank you to the patients who have given me an avenue to learn about this profession of mine. I have not learned about medicine in the way that I have learned from the interaction with patients and the response that I get, to actively see that the whole point of rehabilitation, of treatment, is not just medication. It's this art form. That's something that the entire team is putting forward in doing. The dance classes, the counseling, it's very, very helpful. They have these patients, and they continue to be some of the greatest teachers that I have ever known. Please excuse me if I have missed out anyone, and thank you Street Providence and everyone, sir, everyone involved. I'm sorry if I have missed out anyone or not taking your name. Thank you for the amazing opportunity to be part of this program, to allow me to experience what medicine is actually supposed to be in the greater sense, and not something just practiced to give someone medicines and you take money. That is not medicine. I hope I'm able to help out, and I'm able to deliver what I've promised on to Sapnesh and Donald.
Thank you, Dr. Nasio. I'm sure you are listening to him. You might have heard the passion that is there for him, in him, to work for the less fortunate people. And I think somehow his mind is with so many things, so he finds it difficult how to make up for all the good things that he is doing. We wish you well, doctor, and we do hope you get married soon. So I would now request our Director of Social Welfare, Women and Child, to say a few words.
Respected sir, George, Sanjay sir, Donald of Street Providence, and all the residents, as sir has introduced to us. Actually, this is my first interaction with actual work that Street Providence is doing. In fact, Donald is the only person, I think, who was coming to my office very often and personally following up with all the paperwork that was required for the part of that scheme which we are running, the Women and Child, for the shelter homes. We give some grants, and I think Donald has to be given all the credit. I would like to give up all of them to give a big hand, because day in and day out he used to sit in my cabin. Although I took over charge of the department recently, just 4 months back, he used to come every day, follow up, and see that logically all these proposals were cleared and money was transferred by the government to this organization. So in that way, I give all the credit to Donald. it was my experience, good experience over here, because only on paper I have to know, like State Providence is doing this work, that work, this work, and there were some inmates, but I was very much impressed when some of them were performing over here, and as Sir said, some of them were mentally challenged, but their steps and their coordinations belied their faults. So I wish State Providence all the best. Whatever can be done from my side as a director in my department, I am always there, willing to help the NGOs. And I wish all of us equally help in assisting these NGOs to carry forward the good work they are doing. And I would like to thank Donald and Sir for inviting me over here and to share a few words with you. Thank you very much.
I can tell you one thing.
No government servant is very keen to meet Donald in authority, because when Donald comes, it is with full rage and ragging, and then after he would call me, sir, you come around. So I have to hold him and say, cool, yeah, cool, we'll work it out. And then he says, see, if they're not going to do it, I'm going to take them on it. You have to really cool him down a lot. Anyway, Director Sir, it is this thing. I'm sure you must have also felt the way he acts, and many times they say this guy is too arrogant. He doesn't know how to talk, but I can say the passion that Donald has is really a very challenging thing. I would request Ms. Noreen to say a few words. Just don't feel you don't have to give a big speech, because as I said, she has been one of the first benefactors of Donald. When he started in 2017, it was fortunate that she was here in Goa. So we'll request her to say a few words, how you got to know about Street Providence.
A big thank you for giving me the opportunity to say a few words. Well, to be honest, I don't remember who sent me the WhatsApp message. I received a WhatsApp message saying they are going to start feeding the homeless, and if anyone would be interested to support. So I am a nurse by profession, so I like helping people, and I thought this is a God-given opportunity for me to reach out to people. Although I could not directly do something for the people around, I could do it indirectly. So through that WhatsApp message and the contact number given there, I contacted Donald and I said, I'm interested in supporting you in your work. So I still have the first few messages, and he said, how are you going to support me? Like, what is your proposal? And actually I wasn't in Goa, I was in Kuwait. Okay, I live there. So I said, since I'm away, the only way I can support you is a monetary support. And then he said, we don't accept cash. I said, whatever your way of acceptance, okay, that is how I will support you. So that is how the journey began. And I could also see that the work they were doing and all the updates that I would get, okay, helping people in need. And it started as feeding the homeless, but I know it went on to helping people with disabilities. Anyone requiring medical attention were brought to the homes, and he would he would update it on the WhatsApp group. This one has been admitted into our home, needs medical attention, if anyone willing to help. So I could see the progress it had made and how it branched out into so many places. So that is how I have continued my support, because I believe in him and in the work that Street Providence has been doing all through these years. And I'm actually honored to be a part of this. I'm honored to be a part of Street Providence, although indirectly. Hopefully someday I can also join as a volunteer directly. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am. It is, we are always willing and we will welcome with open arms to be our volunteer. We always require volunteers. And that's how the work of Street Providence has gone about. And ma'am, there are many who have come forward. I mean, it is very challenging to see that, especially when during the Manipur crisis and all, how people openly, very generously helped us out. That today we are supporting some 100 children who are studying in Manipur. There are houses being built, all to the good work and generosity of our benefactors and volunteers. Before we this thing, I know he'll be a bit upset with me, but I have to invite him because he likes to remain in the background. Just a few words, before you leave and leave Goa and go to Ladakh. Please welcome Sanjeev Products.
I am humbled to be here, and the extent of work which is going on in the hands of Donald and his team is actually unparalleled. And I think the passion and the love with which it is going on makes all the difference. Whatever we do in our own way to push street forwardance to see the next day is a small drop in the ocean of what work actually goes on. And I do not say that we have to push ourselves. I think all of us are here because whatever we are doing has come from within us. Nobody has pushed us to go to Donald or to street providence. I think the other way around is true. Street providence has pulled us. At least that has happened to me. In fact, when I first met Donald, he was outside my office, he was waiting for some other officer. And I went out of my office a couple of times and he was still there. I was so irritated. I said, why is this man just here and just sitting here doing nothing for so long? Then I called him to my office and then I came to know who he was and what street providence is. And I had no time, but Donald, I had to tell him to stop talking. I have enough, I have no time. But I'll give you a time where you can come and we can discuss. I had a tough assignment. I was not in Goa most of the time. I was handling the G20 event for the Ministry of External Affairs, and time passed by. I got a bit free and then I called him. I said, come, let's discuss what you were. So he said, you can give me a lot of food. I was stunned. I said, I hardly cook. And how can I give you food? Thank you. You are in charge of all the factories in Goa and they have so much of food, and started rattling numbers and they have to give me. I said, Donald, it doesn't work like that. I just can't call and see that all food is. But he had a plan. And he said, you just put me to your director and I will handle him. I said, you don't handle anybody here. We have to work on a plan. So one of my first tasks was how I could handle Donald not going to my department and doing it with Donald and myself. To cut a long story short, we worked on a lot of factories and he had his plan. I was just a facilitator. But he was very sure of what he was and how he wanted to do it. I wanted my way. But at the end of it, I said, he's taking the food. His residents are going to eat it. He's taking the responsibility. Who am I? I just have to provide it. So I said, I'm not making any change to your plans. You tell me how you want it and we will push it to the... So we had a meeting with all the general managers of these industries where, again, like anyone said, each company has its own standard operating procedures. They give some, they don't give. You can enter their premises, not enter their premises. Every company has its own. And Donald has his own fixed rule. So to get all these people to adapt to Donald was another task, because Donald cannot adapt. Donald is on a highway. But that's a good way, and I think his way has delivered street providence. So I don't think any one of us are even close to tampering his way, and why should we? But having said that, I think Street Providence at the moment, and looking at the larger picture and looking at what Donald has in mind, is still at its nascent stage. It needs a lot of work, it needs a lot of nurturing, it needs a lot of support, and it needs to grow, because the need for its growth is more than anything else, and more than anything what Donald or we or all of us could wish for. That is societal need, that is need of the people, that is need of the hour. And all of us have to put our heads together and just be a follower rather than be a path breaker. The path breaker is there in front of us. I think that following, if it is there with great numbers, both in terms of effort, energy, money, and whatever else is required, that speed will make him move faster. And I think that has to be our aim. That has to be our objective, to just move. He is a restless person, and in a very positive way, I think it is required in this field to be restless, to go and find the new frontier quicker and faster. Because every day of delay and every minute of delay is we are depriving another human of his or her rights, and I think that's the aim we should have. Of all the people, I think I thank all of you all, but I think our caregivers, आप लोगों ने जो काम किया है, इतना प्यार से आप लोग इधर देखभाल कर रहे हैं, आपकी जी सेवा का जो मन है और प्यार का जो मन है, और आप लोग जो इतनी प्यार से ये सेवा कर रहे हैं, ये कठिन मुश्किल काम जो हो रहा है और इतने लोगों का आप लोग सेवा कर रहे हैं, हम आपका आभारी हूँ। और मैं आपको डोनाल्ड के ये स्ट्रीट प्रोविडेंस और पूरी स्ट्रीट प्रोविडेंस की फैमिली है, आपको धन्यवाद कहता हूँ। आपका काम कोई नहीं कर सकता है, ये आप सोच के आगे बढ़ाइए, और डोनाल्ड और हम आपके पीछे हैं। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
Thank you very much, Sanjeet. I think you really spoke properly about Donald. These are small gifts that have been given on the occasion of Christmas to some of our caring for persons with disabilities, especially mental and intellectual disabilities, is very hard. And I give full credit to the woman caregivers. Number one is our caregiver, Alina. Next, Rita. Come, okay. Neetu. Seema. Veema. Simanti. Simran. Swati. और बसंती। Thank you very much, Rudy and Caroline. Before we close, we would now like to release our second book regarding the work, which will be distributed to all of us. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, and we can.
There's a another thing I want to mention is at the vocational classes and at the art classes, our residents have made all this creative work. And they've requested us to ask you all to please pick up a piece and take home as a reminder of the Christmas feeling and in thanks for all that you have done for them over the years. So please don't hesitate. Even the men, please don't hesitate. I know this is all ladies' work, the crochet and all. I know you won't understand what's happening, but I would request each and every one of you to please pick up a piece and take. It's absolutely free. It's with all our love, and it's not perfect, but it's the best that they did, and it's the best that they can offer to you. So please don't forget. Please don't go without your gift.
So you see, we have closed, this is only 1/3 of our strength. We have 2/3 more of men. Basically it's 7 years old, we are 7 years old approximately. And in 7 years, the first person who comes to my mind is Noreen. The second person who comes to my mind is Caroline. The third person who comes to my mind is the food bank from Margaon, because they are 7 years old. The fourth person who comes to my mind is Sapnesh, because he was there before 7 years, but he was not in Street Providence. The fifth people who come to my mind is FMCK. They were with us almost 7 years, 6.5 years. So basically, आमी जे कोत्ता ते जे लेडीज लोक हा, जे जेंट्स लोक हा, जे कसले कारणा खातीर तांकां घर ना रावपाक काय तांकां वखद मेळना ते आमचें काम. पयलें दिसतालें मातशें डिफिकल्ट आहा म्हणून, आतां हातीन बसले ते आमच्या. And it's possible because we have benefactors who fund us. We have the government through Women and Child, Social Welfare and Person with Disability Department, through Goa Police. That's why Bosco George is here. It feels good. It feels nice. We have been able to grow. We have been able to make the government take note of what we are doing, although it's not in a big way. We have been able to pull congregations together, that is FMCK and Fatima Sisters, where we run most of our shelter homes in convents. We have only one private home which is not in a convent, but most of our shelter homes are in convents. And we thank Bishop Theodore Mascarenas from Jharkhand. उसका वजह से हमारा केयर गिवर जो है, जो झारखंड से आते हैं, तो उसका because of his help, because of his understanding, we have been able to run shelter homes here, because he has been able to provide us caregivers from Jharkhand. And जितना भी झारखंड से caregiver है, I say thank you to you. धन्यवाद, आप लोग इतना मेहनत ले रहा है. It's not easy. कभी troubles happen, मुश्किल है. And to all people who have supported us, who have not made it here, to all our staff, back office, front office, in different sections who work with us, we are thankful for the support. So it's nice meeting you all. It's nice you all meeting the residents. We'll conclude this program like this Jonathan said. There's a lot of craft which has been made. please pick something and take. Do not go empty-handed. We are not selling anything. We are not giving it away. Whatever you want, you can pick and take. And to our friend Joseph, who makes it a point to be present whenever we have any program. He covers our program and he records everything. Thank you very much and Merry Christmas in advance.